Hello, and welcome to MS Journey with Christopher. Today, I'd like to talk about cognitive skills a little bit. Now, this is something that's important for everybody, but when you have MS and everything seems to diminish on you and you don't know why until you get a diagnosis, the world is scary and very bleak. Once you get a diagnosis, it still doesn't get too much better. You have a reason why. You know why you're having these problems, but it doesn't get any better. Now, cognitive skills, I'm going to read a little bit here from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, where it says cognitive skills or functions encompass the domains of perception, attention, memory, learning, decision making, and language abilities. Now, these are all important because I mentioned them earlier in earlier videos about, like when I coined the term speech dyslexia. Now, with that, I coined it, it was funny, like the sentence that I read, I would use the words wrong, like I was dyslexic. Like I'd read, like I could, I would speak that way. I wouldn't read like I'm not dyslexic, but by the way, but the words would come out in conversation. I would just say certain things and I would say words before others. I always figured my brain was just kind of misfiring or I was tired. But as things went on, it got worse and worse. In my 30s, then all of a sudden I started using the wrong words. And then people teasing me, funny, ha ha. Well, then it developed where I was getting anxiety. It was making me anxious because I felt dumb. Because people would be laughing, funny, like just teasing. But to me, it came across as they were making fun of me because they wouldn't leave it alone. And then when we go back to the conversation, I couldn't remember anything. So if the conversation was serious, once it got off topic, it was lost to me. And I didn't find that very funny. I found that very scary and frustrating, as do a lot of people, I feel, with the MS. You guys definitely know what it's like. So that's why we're going to talk about it a little bit today. Now, with decision making and language skills and memory, perception, attention, the language skills really hit home with me. That's probably the hardest. That and memory. Actually, all of them. Attention, not attention per se, but perception. Because, like I said, people would be teasing me, and it sounded like they were making fun of me to me. So my perception wasn't they were teasing with me, they were making fun of me. Because of my language abilities. Now, these were all very, very, very hard. And they continue to be very hard. And anybody watching that doesn't have MS, I really would like you to spread the word to be a little bit empathetic. The more we talk about, I have a grandmother with Alzheimer's, I can relate a little bit. With Alzheimer's, she talks about things, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, excuse me, but they're hardwired into her brain. She can't remember yesterday's coffee. It just, it's how it goes. But with MS, you kind of feel the same way. The reason why I'm talking about this is I just had a situation where I told a family member, yeah, I'll do something tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Well, I forgot. And then the next day popped up and it was like, oh, well, I already did, whatever they had to do. And it made me feel terrible. So that's why I wanted to talk today about it, because like I said, from Wikipedia here, it says cognitive skill, also called cognitive function, cognitive abilities, cognitive capacities, are brain-based skills which are needed in acquisition of knowledge, manipulation of information, and reasoning. These are all super important to all people, everybody. They're things you're tested on through IQ tests when you're younger, for instance. No matter what you say, biased or, about IQ tests, your basic reasoning skills, that's what are tested. And when you don't have them, you literally feel like you're dumber than everybody else. There's no way to put it. It's hard when you can't reason, when you can't keep up. The reason why I'm talking about this is because it's been affecting me a little bit lately. And so I'm talking kind of from my heart about it because it's something that I fight with on a daily basis. I fight with perception, memory, decision making. Sometimes I feel like I can't make the right decision. Any decision I make. Some of that has to do with anxiety, depression, brain fog, the other things that come along with MS. This is the hard part is we don't know what is what sometimes. And when I say we, obviously those diagnosed with MS, I'm talking about us. It's scary. It's scary for all of us. And I want everybody to remember out there that we can manage it the best we can. But, oh, see, right now my cognitive function's gone down. I'm trying to think of what I was going to say, but I'm having a hard time. Like, with memory, for instance, when I want to remember something, I put it on my Google Calendar. The reason why I put it on the Google Calendar is because it's synced on my phone. So anytime I put it in my phone, it sets alarms. Alarms go off. I'm notified. I can notify myself of it that I'm being notified the next day. That's how handy it is. I got away from this because at work I had to use this because I was so busy that it got annoying after a while. But now I've gone back to it for simple things like, hey, call your family member back, text them, send an email, get back to people if you can. It's very hard and frustrating because if you're like me or where I'm at in life with MS, you're trying to figure out a way to deal with these cognitive skills and not deal with them, but work around, I hate to say it, but a little bit of diminished capacity. We've got to learn to work within society and life with everybody else. It's something that cognitive skills are different for everybody, but for me, the reason why I want to talk about it so much is because in my life, I spent 20 years as a care provider for developmentally disabled adults. So cognitive functioning, cognitive skills, all these things are talked about, paperwork, tests done since they were children. I took care of adults. But, the test and the paperwork follows them, so you keep reading the same stuff. So unless you're talking about elderly or you're in the medical field, dealing with dementia or disabled like me or people with TBIs, that's a big one, traumatic brain injuries, serious injuries, you don't hear about cognitive skills and functioning and how they can diminish. And, people talk about it in the passing, but I'm here to talk to you about it. It's scary. Firsthand, knowing that it's happening is very scary. So I want everybody to just keep that in mind. I can't say that enough. Just whether you have MS or you're somebody watching, just empathy. I can't say it enough. Just be empathetic like I am towards my grandma. Everybody, it's grown on me. But, like my doctor said, gray matter is not something you can regrow. So it's something that you really need to take care of. I suggest, I've done some reading. Like I said, the Terry Walls protocol. It's excellent reading. You read her book. They talk about, eating lots of fatty fish oils, things like that to keep your brain functioning. It's all about being proactive for yourself, proactive for your family members. But just remember, you're not the only person out there. So when I was having this problem, I literally thought I was the only person in the world having these embarrassing problems, and they would bring tears to my eyes. I would cry. I mean, it's difficult, and not just cry, break down like boo-hoo, but I'd really think about it later by myself. And that's when I would kind of like, what is going on with me? I couldn't figure it out. So definitely, it's something to think about, something to consider. That, it's different for everybody, but please definitely the empathetic side, think about our elderly, think about people with MS, certain diseases, but you're not the only one out there. We'll talk about this a little bit later and more of my personal struggle. I want everybody to have a good day, and I hope you had a great Monday.